Welcome to this Algebra 2 session on Rational Expressions Part 2. So in this lesson, we're going to be multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So the first one we're going to do is listed here. When you are multiplying or dividing rational expressions, the first thing that you want to do is check numerator and denominators of both fractions and see if anything can be factored. As we look at these, we don't have anything that can be factored in numerators or denominators here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at simplifying. So to simplify, we look at things that we can cancel. And you can cancel quantities or monomials that are in the numerator and denominator. So you can only cancel things that are in numerator or denominator of either fraction. And if it's a quantity, you have to cancel it with a quantity. Monomials can be simplified, and we'll talk about that. X plus 5, that quantity, can be canceled with the quantity x plus 5. The quantity x minus 1 can be canceled with the quantity x minus 1. X squared is a monomial term multiplying this quantity. X is a monomial term multiplying this quantity. So they can be canceled or simplified. The x is simplified with the x squared, leaving you with an x. So what do we have left? I usually circle what I have left so I don't get confused here. I have an x in the numerator over an x minus 3 in the denominator. Now, the tendency here is to try and cancel these x's. The reason that we can't do that is because this x is tied to the 3 by a subtraction sign. We could cancel things here because these were monomials multiplying something. This is a monomial, but this is a binomial. So that x is part of a binomial, so we can't separate it and cancel. So this is our final answer. So you can pause if you need to. Moving on. Now you are going to come across problems, as I said, where you will need to factor. If you look at these, everything can be factored here. So I have on the side the problems written out, and we're going to write them in factored form. So y squared plus 2y minus 3 factors into y's in the first spot, a positive 3, and a minus 1. Those are the numbers that will give me a product of negative 3 when I multiply them, and a sum of 2 when I add them. Y squared minus 3y minus 18. I'm looking for factors of negative 18 that I can add together to get a negative 3. So that'll be y minus 6 and y plus 3. 2y minus 2, it's 2 terms. There's a greatest common factor of a 2, and it factors into 2 times the quantity y minus 1. And remember, guys, if you need to, you can pause as you work on these yourself. And 4y squared minus 24y. 4y times the quantity y minus 6. And that's the factored form there. 4y is the greatest common factor. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just rewrite this problem, making sure that I put the right things, the right factorizations in the right spots. And then I'm going to look to cancel things. Oops, not quite sure why I put that on the bottom. So 4y times y minus 6 goes in the numerator, and 2 times y minus 1 goes in the denominator of the second fraction. So now I look for things to cancel. I can cancel the quantities y minus 1 and y minus 1. I can cancel the quantities y minus 6 and y minus 6. I can cancel the quantities of y plus 3 and y plus 3. Even though they're in the same fraction, I can still cancel them as long as one is in the numerator and one is in the denominator. I can simplify the 2 and the 4, leaving me with a 1 here, different color here, a 1 and a 2. So what I have left is the 2, the y, and the 1, and anything divided by 1 is just your numerator. So I get 2y as my simplified answer. And last but not least, 3x divided by 4x minus 20, or that fraction divided by 2x plus 10 over x squared minus 25. We had said before that when you are dividing fractions, you flip the second fraction, or write the reciprocal of the second fraction, and multiply. So this now becomes 3x over 4x minus 20 times x squared minus 25 over 2x plus 10. So we write the reciprocal of the second fraction and change the division to multiplication. So now I'm going to go through, what can I factor here? Well, I can't factor 3x, but I can factor 4x minus 20. It has the greatest common factor of 4. So pulling that out gives me x minus 5 in the parentheses. For x squared minus 25, it factors into two terms, x plus 5 and x minus 5, because it's a difference of perfect squares. And 2x plus 10 has the greatest common factor of 2. Pulling that out gives me 2 times the quantity x plus 5. So now rewriting these. And I'm going to cancel where I can. The x minus 5 here, I can cancel with the x minus 5. And you should pause, guys, because I'm going to start writing over this. So if you need to pause, do that now. The x plus 5, cancel. And I am left with a final answer of 3x over 2, or 3x divided by 2. Oh, sorry, I didn't even notice that 4. There's a 4 there. 3x divided by 8. So see, circling is pretty important to do, or you forget what you have. So 3x over 4 times 2, which is 3x over 8. And that ends the session.